Today, let's check out Bayonetta 1's options on Nintendo Switch. So here we are at the title screen. We're going to press start, and we just have three options. Pretty simple: play, options, and extra. We're going to focus on options today. That's what this video is all about. I'm going to highlight it and press A. So first, let's check out the controls. We can view Rumble and in-game control settings. So we can turn Rumble on or off. I turn Rumble off when I'm recording because I don't want the microphone to pick up any of those noises. When I'm playing it personally, when I'm not recording, I'm just playing it just for fun, I will have Rumble on. I personally like that. Remember, tweak all these settings to your liking. Now, if we go down to controls, you can view all in-game controls. So if I just press A on that, press A again, it's just going to show us the standard controls if we're playing in handheld mode. We can check out the touchscreen controls. We can then check out the motorcycle controls, the missile operation controls, the cannon controls, and those are all the controls that you can look at. So if you ever forget how to do something, definitely come back here. It's worth checking out. And of course, we can return all in-game controls to their defaults by coming here, press A on it, and then you can restore the default controls if you change things willy-nilly. Now let's check out camera controls. We can change the camera control settings for the right stick. We press A on camera, and now we can change the invert of the Y and X axis. We can change the first person camera, X and Y axis, but also camera speed. This is going to be really up to your liking. You can make the camera spin around faster if you put it towards max. This may be dizzying to some. If you're susceptible to motion sickness, maybe not do that, but you can still try it out. You can also reduce that movement, making the camera slower, more methodical. But this is a quick action game, Bayonetta is. I kept it on standard. I like it how it is. Developers created a nice camera system for this game. And of course, you can go down to default settings if you tinkered with it too much and you just want to return it back to the stock settings. Now let's check out the sound settings, where we can adjust sound volume settings. On the screen, this says note, surround output settings can be found in your console's system settings. So if you're trying to do surround sound, check out the Nintendo Switch sound settings in the menus. But for here, we change the volume of the effects, the music, and that's pretty much it. It's straight to the point. If you like the music in the background, max this. If you want the effects to be lower, because there is going to be a lot of sounds, Bayonetta's jumping, kicking, shooting, you're going to want to tweak this here. And again, just like in the controller and camera settings, we can always return it to default settings easily if we don't like how we tweaked it. And finally, let's check out the display settings. Then this is where I think most of the tweaking is going to be done. The brightness of the game, you can change it down and up. You can actually see the effects of it happening on screen. I'm going to keep it right in the middle. So for audio language, you have two options, English or Japanese. For subtitles, you can turn them on or off. So if you just want a more immersive gameplay session, then you could turn them off. But if you're like me and love it, subtitles on everything from YouTube videos to movies, then you're definitely going to keep them on. You can also change the subtitle language. I have mine set to the system setting. So whatever I have on the Nintendo Switch, that's the language that is going to be set for the subtitles in game. It also has 9 other subtitle language, or I should say 9 languages in total, so you can go and pick the one that is right for you. Lastly, you can turn off tutorial displays whenever they appear, and just like with every other setting, you can change all the defaults for these display settings by simply go to default setting and then pressing A and restoring them to default. Now here we are in game, and we're going to check out what options are available when we are actually playing the game and not just on the title screen. So I'm going to press start, go to options, and we can see that we can change all the controller options, all the camera options, the sound settings, but in display you're going to notice a couple of things. So the audio language settings can only be accessed from the title menu or the chapter menu, so you cannot change that while you're playing. That's set. Same thing for subtitle language, that can only be accessed or changed via the title menu or chapter menu. Just keep those two in mind when you're playing. So when you're playing a stage, the audio and the subtitle language are pretty much set, as well as the tutorial. You cannot change tutorial display settings when you're in the game. So I hope you found looking at the settings on Bayonetta 1 for Nintendo Switch useful. I know I personally like looking at what settings a game has to offer before I start playing, and I hope you do too. Well, this video has come to an end, so I'll see you in the next one.